Welcome back to a new season of Paint with Michele. This season, I will be focusing on a new theme entitled Cool Cats and Kittens. I'll be showing you how to make paintings of cats and kittens in the style of popular artists and famous paintings. For our first work of art, we will be painting Nyan Cat, which was a popular internet gift from the early years of YouTube and is now one of the many new NFTs or non-fungible tokens, which is similar to cryptocurrency. I will be using paint pens for most of this painting in the episode, but you can use regular acrylic paint with a small flat or square brush if you prefer. To print out the Nyan Cat Template and reference image, visit the Creation Station's website and click the Paint with Michele page. A link is in the description. Before we get started painting, here's a little history of our subject, Nyan Cat. April 2nd, 2011 marked the creation of this GIF image when a 25-year-old Christopher Torres of Dallas, Texas posted the animation to his website, LOL Comics. The original design was the result of two suggestions from patrons during a live stream donation drive for the Red Cross. One person suggested Christopher draw a Pop-tart, while the other suggested drawing a cat. Using his own cat Marty as inspiration, Christopher combined the two ideas and created the then titled Pop-tart Cat Doodle. Nyan Cat did not receive its name until a YouTuber by the name of Sara uploaded a video of the GIF looping with the song called Nyan Ya Nyan Ya Nyan Ya Nyan on April 5th, 2011, and renaming the GIF to Nyan Cat. Now that we know our subject a little better, let's gather our supplies and get started. Our painting today will be done on a smaller canvas as to represent the small size of its digital creation. The canvas I am using in the video is 9 inches by 12 inches on white canvas in the landscape position. I will be using some acrylic paints for the background of this image, such as white acrylic, black acrylic paint, and blue acrylic paint. You'll also need a cup of water to wash off your brush when you're done painting the background. The brush that I'm using in today's video is a 1/2 inch flat brush, but you can choose your own size and style. And don't forget to use paper towels to wipe off your brush when you're finished. To paint the Nyan Cat design, I will be using several colors of paint markers. The colors are purple, pink, red, orange, peach, gray, blue, green, black, white, and yellow. If you prefer to use acrylic paint, make sure you have a small square brush for the sharp corners. You will also need to cut out the Nyan Cat template provided on the Creation Station's website if you don't want to paint it freehand. As there are several straight edges, the template will help keep those lines clean. Our first step is going to be mixing 3 scoops of blue paint with 1 dot of black and 1 dot of white paint until we get a dusty blue tone. Then, we'll cover the entire canvas with this mixed color, and for full coverage, you'll want to paint it 2 to 3 times and wait for it to fully dry. Now take the template and line it up in the middle of the left side of the canvas. Outline the shape with red for the top of the rainbow, black around the Pop-tart and cat features, pink for the Pop-tart frosting, and purple for the bottom of the rainbow. Once the outline is done, use the template to help create the different rainbow sections. Each section is around a 1/2 inch thick. The color order is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and finally purple. Once the sections are marked off, fill in each line with 2 to 3 coats of the paint markers. You may need to do more coats of yellow if you still see the background color showing through. Next, fill in the Pop-tart frosting area with the pink paint marker. Then use the reference image to color in the paw and face of the cat with gray paint. You'll want to try and keep the line straight as there are no rounded edges in this design. The next step is to color in the Pop-tart crust with either a beige or peach color marker. Feel free to make touch-ups to the design as you work, allowing other sections to dry before adding more details. Now, use your reference image again to outline the shape and then fill in the Nyan cat's tail with gray paint marker. As that dries, use the red marker to color in small squares on the Pop-tart frosting for sprinkles. Try to make them as even as possible. Now, taking a black marker, make small squares for the eyes, a tiny square for the nose, and the letter E on its back for its mouth. Carefully outline the head, paws, the crust of the Pop-tart, and the tail in black paint marker. There are some sections where the black lines are bolder, which you will need to use the picture reference for, such as the paws and the tail. Use the pink marker and make small squares to give the cat its rosy cheeks, and then white squares to the eyes to give it a little sparkle. Finally, take the white marker and try to recreate the starburst from the video with squares, rectangles, and other pixelated designs. You can also use the white acrylic paint and a square brush if that's easier for you. When you are finished with the painting and no longer need any touch-ups, remember to add your signature and show off your masterpiece with pride. Thank you for joining us for a new season of Paint with Michele. We'll see you next month with another cool cat painting.